and welcome to Labor Lens, where we bring to you update information in the world of work and pay. I am Sharon Ijason. This week we will be focusing on the plight of workers who work here in Oshodi-Apapa Expressway. But before we dig deeper, let's take the news. We will be right back.
The Joint Research and Allied Institutions Sector Unions in Abuja have joined their counterparts in other states to call on the federal government to resume negotiations with their union leaders. The union has been on strike since November and is worried that the government is yet to call for a negotiation with its leadership or meet their demands.
Our demands are as follows. 1. Poor funding of our research institutes. 2. Establishment of a National Research Institute Commission. 3. Immediate release of Research Institute Condition of Service. Separation of research funds from capital budget. Implementation of a 65 years retirement age. Payment of peculiar allowances. And the 12 months arrears of conrise, that is salary arrears, since 2009.
Lagos, like most resilient cities of the world, is a place where abundant resources meet effective resourcefulness. But most importantly, it is a city that never sleeps. Located within the nation's commercial nerve center, Apapa is a town that acts as a major economic gateway and is home to West Africa's biggest seaports, including Nigeria's premier port, the Lagos Port Complex, and the Tinkan Island. With the constant traffic gridlock in Apapa, Lagos, and the alleged death of some workers in the area, I set out to verify what an average worker experiences daily on Apapa Wharf Road. It's 4:30 a.m. and my subject, Ayo Ajayi, a dock worker, lives in Agbado Ijayi, an outskirts of Lagos State. I met him at the bus stop of his house, we exchanged pleasantries and then set out for his workplace in Apapa. After some minutes, we boarded a bus to Oshodi. You're telling me now that this is normal stress you go through. You told me that you wake up as early as 3:30 a.m.
Well, it was not like that before, because a journey of from Kola to Wharf under normal condition is a journey of less than 1 hour. But you know, when we experience this total blockage within Apapa because of the bad road, so we are forced to wake up in our houses maybe as early as 3 or 3:30. We make sure that we leave our house around 4 a.m. So to get to work maybe by 7 or 8 a.m. in the morning. So a journey that's supposed to take us for 1 hour before is now 3, 4, 5 hours.
It was a little tiring. I dozed off a bit, but had to brace up for the long journey ahead. It was a busy morning, although some said it was a little light. At Oshodi Express, I and the crew could not get a direct bus to Apapa Wharf. And it was only a matter of time we realized what was ahead was total roadblock on both sides of the road. Finally, we opted into a bus once again. From mile 2, the road was blocked, but the driver was able to navigate and drive against traffic. Just before Coconut bus stop, Ayo alighted from the bus because there was no way to go. I took about 10 minutes of his time to survey the area.
From the TITC, because they are not doing the work normal. When they reach there, they will be browsing their phone. Before they will allow motor to go inside, we can spend like more than 15 minutes to go into inside. That's all this traffic is like this. They get all the last mile and the police, they feel like they are controlling. They are collecting money, putting them one way. Not say one way they are moving this money. We are here over getting 5 days today. Today is 5 days.
This food is not good. I have been here for the past 5 days. I have not slept.
Ayo informed me he had to catch a bike to his office, which cost 400 naira, as that was the only way to access the port from this point. A little curious on what the journey will look like, I remember how my day began. From my official car to a bus and now a bike. A bike that has to maneuver in between tankers and trucks. It was quite a stressful and risky adventure. Ayo, who left his house at 4:30 a.m., arrived his workstation at 9:30 a.m.
Coming to Apapa is like going to hell, because I leave my house around 4:30 a.m. See the time now. I think the time is 9:30. I get to Apapa around 9:30. I'm still going to work, and I'll be at my working place till 6 p.m. So I don't know, and it's like that every day. We spend more money, we spend more time on the road. So I have to come down on the road and carry Okada. I enter Okada because of the bad road. We are paying triple of the normal fare, but we are helpless. There's nothing we can do. So government will just come to our head and repair the road.
I had a chat with Mazili Ifeanyi Edward, president of the Nigerian Port Authority Workers Branch, and he reacted to pending allegations and state of the road in Oshodi-Apapa dual carriageway.
If you are looking at the slow pace of moving of these goods, you will also look at the holding bays we have. And you will also look at these trailer drivers, these tanker drivers, these trailers that are on the street. Are they supposed to be where they are at that point they are supposed to be there? Are they supposed to be there? Because if you look at the holding bay issue, I'm coming to that point. If you look at the holding bay issue, we don't even have. Even if we have, it's not enough. That is number one. Then number two, if you say that the pace is slow, then it means that you have to find a place to keep your tankers and keep your trailers until you are sure that these things are cleared. We all know about how network will fluctuate in the country. And so if you put that into consideration, you're supposed to have this clearance a day or two before putting your truck on the road. So if you say because it is slow, then is that enough excuse for somebody to put trucks on the road and because it hold up? The answer is no. And if the roads are terribly bad, then we look to a way to ensure that we do something that will allow space for other vehicles to move.
When Ayo finished the day's work, it was 6 p.m. already. I followed him, but this time he went through a water channel. Then a bike, and then with the bus back to Agbado Ijayi. He did not arrive his bus stop until 10:15 p.m. in the night. This, according to him, another respondent I met in Oshodi-Apapa dual carriageway, is their daily ordeal in a bid to earn a living for themselves and survive in Lagos.
We are begging our government to please come to our aid. We are suffering, we can't pay our bills, we sleep, bath, cook on the road. The road is bad. Workers trek to their offices. We need help.
You leave your house at a very early morning. Then before we can get here, we spend like 3, 4, 5 hours on the road. Even going back is worst. You get me? So we are begging government, let them do something so that the road will be put in the right way so that everybody can enjoy this place.
They should think about how they will construct this road, because many people have lost their lives here. And moreover, if you look at the tankers and the containers, they have been choking up the road. You know, there is no causing a big havoc here. And this is too bad. It's very, very bad. It's very, very bad. I think there should be a change here.
On the profile interview segment this week, I will be speaking with the President General of the Maritime Workers Union, Comrade Adewale Adeyanju. He will be giving us insight on the planned strike action by the workers of the union. Join me. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much, my sister.
A lot has been said in recent times about the Maritime Workers Union. And fresh in the news is the proposed strike that the union threatened some few days ago. I would like to ask you, why is it important for the Maritime Workers Union to reactivate the suspended ultimatum issued May 2017?
Well, I want to thank you, my sister. It's unfortunate that the Nigeria gateway economy to the road has been turned to a mechanic village, where the tanker and the trucks have overtaken our roads. And most of the Apapa community, people that are staying in Apapa community today, majority of them have left Apapa. And when you're talking of a revenue drive, where is the revenue drive coming from? Is it not from the ports? So we believe the government needs to do something. And the ultimatum has been given out for almost how many years now? We suspended. We keep on suspending. Please go to the management of Nigerian Port Authority, who always intervene anytime we use an ultimatum. The MD, the EDS, and all this team. They invited us for a proper meeting where we sat with them, and they gave us their word that they are going to do something about the road. Yeah, the road will be given out to contractor. Nothing is being done. The slow work of the job is affecting the average Nigerian workers. The stress everybody are passing through. So that is why we feel that there's need for us to reopen the suspended ultimatum we have issued out to the government.
Now, I would like you to reinstate the workforce of Maritime Workers Union, because if you say Maritime Workers Union will actually embark on an industrial action, it might seem vague. So I would like you to share with us
I'm
who are the
referring
people.
to all the stakeholders in the port. We're talking of the shipping, we're talking of Nigeria Port Authority itself, we're talking of seafarers, we're talking of other stakeholders that have something doing in the ports. And that is why we have to renew the suspended strike. As I'm talking to you now, you cannot pass coconut. It's as bad as that. And the Nigeria workers in Nigeria Port Authority today, some of them are passing through a lot of stress. Where somebody will trek from Mile 2 to ports, where somebody will leave his house, some are staying in Agege, some are staying in Okoba, some are staying in A4. By the time they get back to work, and you said 8 hours operations. Where is 8 hours? Can we meet up that 8 hours? What about the stress they have passed through? So we believe the government should wake up and do the needful by putting the road in the proper way, where all the investors that have run away for the past couple of years, some have run away because of the bad road. And it's affecting the workforce in the maritime stake.
You spoke about the remedial work that was promised last year. Would you say that the contract that has been awarded in terms of reconstructing or rebuilding the Apapa Wharf Road, would you say that they've been doing fine, or would you say that they've not even done anything so far?
They've started, but it's very, very slow, and the rain is about to come. In a couple of months, I'll be talking about the rain. They are not fast enough, And the palliative we're talking about, if you are even repairing one's access road, one of the roads, put on palliative measure to the other roads, so that it's going to be more tolerable for all the stakeholders in the port. That's what we are saying. It's very, very slow. They are not moving. This is not moving. And that is why the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria today, we find that there's need for us to tell the whole world that the life of the workers in the port is not safe as a result of the bad road. The stress they are passing through. Somebody coming from, let me repeat myself, maybe I'm still in Akute, and my management want me to come and sign in for 7:30. How do I get to the port? The truck, the tankers, they've taken our major road as if it's a mechanic village. What's our business doing on the road? If you don't have anything doing on the road, you don't need to bring your trucks. The shipping company too, we need to talk to them. The government needs to talk to them. Where is their holding bay? Because in the past, we have what we call holding bays. You can stock your container as many as you want. Not now everybody have turned the whole road to be their own, I don't know, their parking space, garage, where somebody can just turn himself to a mechanic and turn the place to where there's no order. No, the place have been useless. The road, in fact, I'm not happy with the trends of things.
So are you saying now, as the president of the Maritime Workers Union, that it's of essence that we go back to the olden bay? As
yes, yeah, that is the master plan of Nigeria Port Authority. In the past, we have master plan for NPA. But because the port have been considering to various Nigerians, various investors, the master plan needs to be looked into. Where in those days we have olden bay where you can stock your container as many as you like. If, okay, are you telling me now, if you go to Coconut now, are they lifting fuel?
No.
No, they are not. Why did they turn that road to be their own parking space? The whole of our Apapa community now is as gone as anything. There's no activities. Many have gone out of Apapa. Many have transferred their business to Cotonou here. Cotonou is booming in terms of activities in maritime operations. Go to Cotonou. The road to Cotonou is as clean as anything. Come to Nigeria Port. It's a gateway to Nigeria economy. What is happening there? The road to our gateway to economy is as bad as anything I can think of.
In following up the last statement you said about Cotonou ports booming at the moment, for me as someone who is interested when it comes to workers' issue, and as the president of the association, of the union, pardon me, what do you think is going to happen if we continue to have businesses that should be done in our own ports taken to Cotonou? What do you foresee will happen to workers in some few months if we go on like this?
Redundancy. Management will, as a result of activities that have been granted, they place all the workers on redundancy or sack so many people. And we are saying no. Put the access road on the road, on a smooth ground. Let every people that have transferred their business to neighboring country, let them come back. When they come back, things will normalize itself.
Recently, the press release you signed, it states that you've lost workers on this Oshodi-Apapa expressway. How true is this? And
it's a statement of fact. As I'm talking to you, even about 3 days ago, somebody died at Mile 2 while doing his legitimate duty. He died as a result of the road. If I were to be in those days where the union are so violent, by now, I think what you're asking me is not what you'll be asking me. But we are having a responsible union today who believe in dialogue. So, and that is why we are crying to the whole world that this road must be put in place.
And is there any particular pathetic experience you've experienced so far about the workers that you've actually...
Last year I lost 2 dock workers. We lost 2 dock workers.
And how is their family faring?
Yeah, you lost somebody. They can't fare very well. It is now we are negotiating for their payoff, or I mean their gratuity.
So there has not been any payoff so far?
Yes, I think the management of port and cargo, where that issues come from, they are on the verge of paying the family what belongs to the bereaved dock worker that died. That was December last year, precisely on the 24th.
So why does it have to take that long for workers to be paid off, following the fact that it was probably
We started the negotiation with them. We started the negotiation. I think they are ready to pay. They are ready to comply with the directive from the union.
Your demand states that the trucks on the highway, on the Oshodi Expressway, should be evacuated and potholes filled so that we can ensure that there's free passage of vehicular movement in that area on the road. So what's your view about this?
Yes, our opinion is that when you remove all those tankers that have no business doing in the port, you will see a lot of activities that will come back to the port. I keep on repeating myself. They've turned all the road to mechanic village. And this blame is supposed to go to Minister of Works. They are the owner of the roads. Why they subjected the transporters to take over the roads that belongs to the federal government? If I want to go into a haulage business, I need to look for where to park my tanker or whatever, not subjecting it on the road that belongs to Nigerians. And that's why we are saying that they should call all stakeholders so that they should read out their riot acts. Don't park on the road that belong to Nigerians. And that's why you go to ENA terminal, there's something there, no more activities. The only terminal that is booming today that we can talk that is working now is APMT and all those containerized terminal operators. So a lot is happening.
The 7 days ultimatum will soon elapse. Is there any updates? Is there any meeting that's actually going on right now to ensure that probably the union shelves its action?
Well, we'll be giving ultimatum. Ultimatum is just like an awareness for the government to sit tight so that they will not see us as if we don't know what we are doing. We only suspended the one we used last time, and we've renewed another one just to let them know that the life of Nigerian workers in the port is not safe. The lives of community people that are staying in our upper community is not safe any longer. We don't pray for inferno, fire outbreak. If it happened in any of the ports, God forbid. And that's why we use this 7 days ultimatum. I think I just came back from Port Harcourt. I received a notice from Minister of Labour inviting us for a meeting on Tuesday, precisely on the 6th, inviting us stakeholders for a meeting because of the planned strike.
Now, your demand states that the trucks should be evacuated and the portals filled. If they don't do this, are you assuring the workers that you are going to ensure that
it's very simple. I'm the one that is loading. Loading and offloading is my job. That's our job. What we are only telling the whole world is that the one we have loaded, let them remove it from the road before we start another one. It's very simple. The one I've loaded, the one the workers in the port have loaded, they should remove it from the road so that we can start another one. If it's going to take them 7 days, 8 days, no wahala, no problem. But why must you, because of the government are not looking into the transport owners, because they need to call them for a proper meeting as well. You want to go into business of haulage, don't use your own happiness to cause this happiness to other Nigerians. All of us are Nigerians. We have a stake in that port. Gateway to Nigeria economy has been granted for a couple of years, and nobody is looking at it.
Rumors have it that this strike, proposed strike, is sponsored. Looking at the stress workers are going through on a daily basis, would you say this is true? Sponsored by who?
The strike that is about to be embarked upon is being sponsored by the workers themselves. So I'm passing through here. I just came back from Port Harcourt. So who is sponsoring us? Nobody. All of us are Nigerians, and we have a stake in this country. We must cry out and let the whole world know what is going on in the port. Nobody is sponsoring me. I'm not a PDP, and I'm not a party, so they cannot be telling me whether somebody is sponsoring us. No, it has to do with the welfare of our members, welfare of Nigerians. Millions of Nigerians have a stake in inside this port. And the port is granted. Most of the vessels that are supposed to come have been what? Transferred to another neighboring country. And the Nigerian port is one of the largest ports in the whole of the West African country. But today, we have gone beyond the zero level. And before we go to a zero level, that's why we cry out that the government should look inwardly and make sure that they fix the roads and make sure that palliative measure should be taken to other roads while the other one is ongoing. Then what about the other one? Remove all those trucks that have no business doing in the port. They don't have any business doing in the port. You don't need to come. In those days, we have what we call ATL, authority to load, given by various shipping company. If you don't have ATL, you can't bring your truck inside the port. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying. They've taken the trucks at the back of where we are now. The trucks have taken over the old roads. So where do you put the life of even the resident, the community resident, the stakeholders? Where do you put their life if anything happened like Inferno?
How many hours did it take you to come to work today?
More than 3 or 4 hours. More than 3 or 4 hours.
And how long would it take you to go back home?
The same hours. And even when going back home is going to be dangerous. Because the hoodlums have taken over the whole road too. People that have no job doing and still them turning themselves to armed robber or whatever, attacking innocent souls. So what is the government looking? That is why we issued the ultimatum. And now they have called us for a meeting as a responsible union who nobody sponsored us apart from the Maritime Workers Union that sponsored us for this 7 days ultimatum we're about to issue out, that we have issued out. Nobody. So we're talking about, in fact, it's so pathetic. The road is so pathetic. People are dying every day. Stress. Before I don't have BP, but majority of dog worker, MPA, they are subject to BP now, from 180, 160. What do you put their life? And you are talking about productivities. Is it not when you are well, okay, you perform? The productivity is what, when you are at sand, then you talk of productivities. Somebody that traveled all the way from A4 and he spent 4 or 5 hours before he got to the port, he won't perform any duty any longer. And he'll be thinking of going back home. So palliative should be done. That is what we are saying. People should not see the ultimatum as if we are being sponsored. No. We commended the efforts of Nigeria Port Authority for doing a very good job. They called us for a meeting, and they even sent out their management team to follow us to all those port roads. Those bad roads. We were out there together, and they saw things by themselves. Tinker is as a death trap. Tinker Port. You go there and see things by yourself.
Yeah, I've been there.
Okay, you see, it's a death trap where a car cannot even move. Even a truck cannot even pass there. I would say gateway to Nigeria economy. Where do you go from? So it's so pathetic. Let them come and do the needful. The contractor they gave the job to, it will be fast enough to do the job and put the road on the very good for the Nigeria users. Then the other ones will be given palliative. While he's doing that one, give palliative. Which I think the managing director of MP promised us that they are going to look into it. We so much have respect for her, and she's doing a very good job.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
You're welcome.
And that's all we can take on today's edition of Labor Lens. Join us same time next week for a fresh edition of the program. I am Sharon Ijason. Thanks for watching, and remember, labor creates wealth.